Welcome to When Creativity Knocks All-Star Designers Summer Series.
5 amazing designers have come together to create this wonderful mermaid party for you. Let's get started.
Now, to decorate your mermaid party, you can do something really cute with Rolex Illusions film and Makin's clay. I made this soiree banner right here, and it's got the seaside theme. So here's how I did it. I used the Rolex Illusions film, and I started with this beautiful shimmery white that looks kind of like water, and with my Sizzix die cut, that's this seashell, you just run it through your machine and get yourself some seashells. Then we took the Americana multi-surface Deco Art paint and just added a little texture and shading onto your seashell. Next, we used the Makin's clay, which comes in a variety of colors all in one pack, which is kind of neat because then you can mix your colors and get shading. Pull it out, and we kind of shaped the letters by hand. After that, because we were able to kind of mix the different colors together, we got some neat texture, and then we used the Merc Art tool. We just added some score marks to give it some texture and make it look like driftwood. Next, I created some pennants for us to hang the seashells off of, using the Rolex Illusion film and this beautiful Judikins seashell stamp. Using some permanent black ink, I stamped a background with the different seashells, cut out the pennant. To assemble the banner, I added the clay pieces with some Beacon's Quick Grip to the Rolex Illusion film and put all the pieces together.
I made these cute little cupcake decorations with a toothpick and the Makin's clay mold. I took their air dry clay and I just pushed it right into the mold. When it pops out, I used the Judikins mica gloss and I just kind of decorated that on the top of the clay. It's great because the mica gloss is water-based and it dries, it just air dries. Then the whole thing went onto a toothpick and then I popped it right onto the top of the cupcake. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, how did I glue the seashell onto the cupcake? I used just a little bit of hot glue from AdTech.
Every mermaid party needs a place setting. So we created these with the Sizzix die in the seashell shape and Rolex Illusions film. We ran the die through the Big Shot and added some ink. Next, we used some Makin's clay and created a little base for the inside of the oyster and some little rocks and seashells using these wonderful Merc Art tools. Next, we did a quick stamp using the Judikins Mermaid stamp and some black solvent ink. I stamped it onto the blue Rolex Illusions film and cut it out with the Westcott non-stick titanium scissors. Finally, just for that final touch, of course you need to put the name on there, I used my Deco Art paint marker and hand wrote a name on there. Perfect for your mermaid party.
So my project today is the invitation for the party. and I have this wonderful, beautiful little card that I made of. It's got all kinds of bling on it and everything. And the way that I made the card is I have my rubber stamp here, and I stamped the mermaid out with some black ink, super easy, and then I colored it in. Then what I did was I stamped all of this hibiscus, and I used some mica gloss ink to get the extra color on there, just like this flower right here. I used the die through the Big Shot, and I cut out all of these seashells here, and I cut it out of shrink plastic. And the shrink plastic is a ton of fun because look at how small these little pieces came out. So when you shrink it, it shrinks about 40%. So then I took some hot glue from AdTech, and I used the AdTech hot glue, and I glued it onto the back of the tassel so that it hangs from my card. Then of course, you got to decorate the mermaid. The mermaid's got to have a little sparkle and some shine, and I used the Buckle Boutique rhinestones, and these are wonderful. You just cut them out, they die cut, they're super easy to use, and I cut out 3 little rhinestones, and there's some self-adhesive on the back of it, and then you just stick it onto the crown of the mermaid. The background was made with the Rolex Illusion film, and I just cut it to the size of my card and just glued that right on. Super, super easy.
So now we have our invitation, our decorations, and we're ready to party. It's time for cake and ice cream. I've made something that can be used as a placemat, or it can be used as just a spot to put your napkins with your paper goods and things to eat your cake and ice cream. And I'm going to show you how I did this first. So as our base layer, I made some waves with these great shades of blue Rolex Illusion film, which I cut with my Westcott scissors. These are the precision tips, which are great for details, but they're also strong enough to go through it. And I just free-formed some wave layers. And I'm not mounting them to the placemat, and I'm going to show you why shortly. But to mount my layers together, I went ahead and used some Beacon 527, and I put small dots of it and held my 3 layers together. So then we needed seaweed and some other things. To make our seaweed, we used some more Rolex Illusion film in this great lime green, and again my Westcott scissors, and this Buckle Boutique self-adhesive sheet, which I absolutely love. It gives great shimmer, and these are self-adhesive, so you just peel it off and you'd stick them on. I used Makin's clay in the earth tone colors and mixed the colors together, and then just used the seashell push mold to go ahead and mold some great little seashells, which I randomly placed on the bottom, and again used the Beacon 527. I wanted to use some starfish and a seahorse and some other things. To do that, I used my Sizzix Big Shot machine and this great die with these great images that I absolutely love. I cut my starfish and my seahorse and some other embellishments with shrink plastic, and then I painted them with some of the Americana multi-surface acrylic paints. Then I shrunk them. I changed directions, so I have some facing in different directions. And then again, I mounted that with the same beacon. To make the main piece of our mermaid, I used the Makin's Ultimate Clay Machine, and I rolled it out on about a 7, which is less than 1/8 of an inch thick. You could hand roll it, but this makes it super easy. And I used the Flesh Tone, which comes in the multi-pack or it comes individually. And then I went ahead and stamped this great Judi Mermaid stamp with a black permanent ink pad. So once I've stamped my mermaid onto the clay and I went ahead and let it dry the 24 hours, I'm going to go ahead and use my Westcott scissors to cut and get in on all those little details. And then I'm going to bling her up. To bling her up, I'm again using my non-stick scissors, and I placed some of these Buckle Boutique gems right over her tail. And then I flipped it, and I used those scissors to cut around to give her a shimmering tail. To color her little bikini top, I used some DecoArt gloss enamels, and they're almost translucent, yet you can still see the color, but the detail shows. And then her crazy seaweed hair, I made with 2 shades of Makin's Clay in green and the clay extruder. I just filled the extruder and used the smallest one with the lots of little holes and went ahead and just turned it out. And then I put that wild hair all around my mermaid. I wanted her to look wet, so I used a little Judi Diamond glaze and glazed her hair and her upper body and let it dry, and she still looks sort of wet, like she's been in the ocean. And the last little bling element I used was this beautiful little Buckle Boutique starfish that I added down here. And why did I put so many pieces and details into this placemat? Because it has two purposes. When your party's over and you want to remember the birthday girl, take a piece of plain scrapbook paper, and this will actually fit if you just cut that tail off and add a little place for a photo. You've got a scrapbook page ready to go, and all of these elements are scrapbook safe too. So it gives you a way to remember the party after. The last little thing that I did to hold our cutlery was, again, I used some of the Sapphire Relics Illusion film, some more of the Buckle Boutique adhesive gems, some more of these Makin's Clay seashells, and on some of them I used some more of the shrink cut die cuts with the Sizzix die cuts, and I adhered them all together with the 527. To make these stick, because it's self-adhesive, it just peels apart and then tucks in and holds itself. So it gives you a great little accent for your disposable cutlery too.
I can't wait to go to this mermaid party.
Lots of great ideas.
Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter, pin us on Pinterest, and find us on Instagram. Sign up for our newsletter on our website and you're automatically entered to win one of the prize packages full of product from our great series sponsors.